Hey guys, welcome back as always. My name is Leyzar, and today we're tackling one of the hottest topics in Warframe, Riven Mods. What are they? How do I get them? And do I actually need them? Riven mods are special mods for primary, secondary, melee weapons, art guns, and robotic weapons. Riven mods are completely unique. Now there is a possibility, a mathematical possibility, that two Riven mods can roll 100% the same, but you have a better chance of finding a needle in a haystack. The power of Riven mods are controlled by the weapon disposition, and you can see what is the disposition of a weapon either on the wiki or, even better yet, directly on the modding screen in-game. However, this section right here is dependent on you having at least one Riven for that weapon type. So in my case, I'm looking at the Synapse, which is a rifle, and I need to have at least one rifle Riven. Keep in mind that it can still be veiled, it doesn't need to be unveiled. But before we get into veiling and unveiling, what's this 5 little balls out of 5 little balls? For example, if I take another rifle, let's say the Tiburon, absolutely lovely weapon. Fantastic back in its heyday. This one has 3 little balls out of 5 little balls. What gives? Which is the most powerful? As you might think, more balls means more powers for your Riven mods. Essentially, the balls control how much stats you're gonna be getting on your Riven. Not what stats, but how much of them. So for example, if the Tiburon Prime had a full 5 out of 5 Riven disposition, my Tiburon Acrican Riven would not be at just 83.3 multi-shot, it would be over 100. Fantastic, right? So how do I get more balls? I want the maximum amount of balls. You see, the balls or the Riven disposition is manually controlled by the developer Digital Extremes, and normally they update the Riven disposition once every prime access. They used to say once upon a time that the Riven disposition is controlled actually by weapon popularity. The more popular a weapon is, the lower the Riven disposition, and vice versa. The less popular a weapon is, the higher the Riven disposition. This system was theoretically put in place to give unpopular weapon a fighting chance in terms of performance. If it actually works that way or not, well, that's another story entirely. But there's still a couple of more things that you need to know about Riven mods. The Mastery Rank barrier to entry for Riven mods is Mastery Rank 8. They range from Mastery Rank 8 all the way to Mastery Rank 16. That means if you have Mastery Rank 16, you can use any Riven mod in the game. And no, having a higher Mastery Rank on the Riven does not mean that that Riven will be any more powerful in any way, shape or form. It's simply a random roll when you get said Riven. You get one Riven mod by completing the War Within. A Veil Riven will only show you the challenge and the slot it corresponds to, if it's a primary, a shotgun, a melee, etc. Riven mods can carry from 2 to 3 positive bonuses and from 0 to 1 negative bonuses. That means that all the combinations are possible. 2 with nothing, 3 with nothing, 2 with 1, and 3 with 1. Keep in mind that the negative aspect of the Riven can also be a positive aspect depending on the build. For example, for a very long amount of time, minus impact was a highly desired stat on Riven, even though that, according to the game, it is a negative. You should also bear in mind that once you get a negative on your Riven, your positive stats will be more beefier. So there is a bit of a give and take, making the most powerful rolls in the game highly contested, and for some players, highly valuable. Sounds fantastic, right? So let's fill all our weapons with Riven mods. Surely they will make for the most powerful builds. And that's only half correct. It is true that some of the most powerful builds for weapons do contain a theoretical Riven mod, or how close you can get to it. You can have only one active Riven mod at a time, while you can collect multiple. Because players start off with 15 inventory slots for Riven mods, which can be increased by purchasing free slots for 60 platinum at the market, up to a maximum of 150 slots. Total cost would be 2.7 thousand plat. Achieving Mastery Rank 30, however, grants you an additional 30 slots for a grand total of 180. Is that enough? Surely that's enough. Well, you would be surprised, some players still need more. Keep in mind that since Riven mods offer power, a lot of players collect them and they can put a pretty high plat value on them. So how do I get Riven mods? I want a couple for myself. As I stated, you get one by completing the War Within quest. Then you can get some more from doing the daily sortie. You can also visit Paladino at the Iron Wake to transmute for 10 Riven slivers. You can do that twice a week. And there's also various other activities that can award a Riven mod. For example, they appear sporadically in Nightwave. Steel Path offerings as well, but those do not include a pistol and melee Riven mod. You can also buy from Arctis for 15 Paros Clamp. Arctis is the Duvidi Paradox vendor. Now, I've been playing Warframe for close to 6 years now, and in this time I've seen players absolutely love Riven mods and equally absolutely hate Riven mods, and we're gonna be getting into the hate part just a bit later, because believe it or not, it is quite justified. But there was one key piece of information that I had no idea. Did you know that from the sortie, different Riven types have different chances to drop? Melee has the highest chance at 8.14, pistol 7.6, rifle 6.8, kit gun 2% along with Zaws, and shotguns only 1.36. I wonder why that is. Probably because of the number of weapons from each specific type. Now let's talk about Kuva and rolling. Great might be your excitement when unveiling a brand new Riven, and great might be your disappointment when you see the actual stats it rolled. What is that? Projectile, flight speed, heat, ammo maximum, minus multi-shot? Oh, how terrible, it killed my Riven. Bah! Maybe these Riven mods aren't really all it's cracked up to be. This might actually make my weapon worse. Thankfully or unthankfully, Kuva comes in to save the day. You see, any Riven mod can be cycled, or as we call them, rolled. You're gonna be needing for the first roll 900 Kuva. What you say, Kuka? The what now? Kuva. You see, Kuva is a resource in Warframe, a highly sought after resource because what it does is basically roll Rivens. You get how that one works. And it can be obtained in a number of different ways. You can use your Steel Essence from Steel Path, you can get it from Nightwave, you can do Kuva Survival. However, all of these methods have one thing in common: grinding. There's a lot of grinding and a lot of fantastic guides out there for farming Kuva. The problem with Kuva is that you might say, hey, 900, that's not bad, let's roll that ugly Riven, maybe we get rid of the minus multi-shot. Let's see if we get lucky. Oh boy, magazine capacity, damage to Grenier, cold, and minus damage to Corpus. I don't know, that's a little bit on the funky side, maybe not the most fantastic roll. You would be correct. But did you notice what happened to the Riven? Now I have the number of rolls in the lower right corner, as in 1. Fine, let's just roll it again. You got... What happened to the roll? Why is it 1000 now? You got a good eye. You see, the more you roll your Rivens, the higher the Kuva cost to keep on rolling them. Now granted, after 7 rolls they do cap out at 3500, but that's 3500 Kuva for a single roll. Basically, there's a group of players that do nothing but farm Kuva for weeks, even months, and then give like 100, 200, whatever 100 rolls on a single Riven because they love Rivens, they love the game, or maybe they love the weapon that Riven is attached to. So you can see basically this is what? This, my friends, is a slot machine. Now granted, Kuva can't be bought directly with money, but what you can do with money is buy boosters, which basically gets you more Kuva faster. You get how that one works. There's one more thing that I want you to notice. In the lower right portion of the screen, you will see fits in Axomati, but you also got a little arrow here. Boom, Axomati Prime. Did you notice what happens when I change the weapon? While the Axomati Riven can fit in the Prime or the normal variant, the stats will differ because each weapon has individual Riven disposition. And as the Axomati Prime is more used than the regular Axomati, it's getting a lower Riven dispo. You get how that one works. So this is where the whole hate part from the Rivens come from. Reload speed, heat, minus punch. Oh damn, that's really not great. Wait a second, does that mean there's no upside to rolling Rivens? That's not true. However, I need you to keep in mind that you can put an infinite number of resources in a Riven, keep on rolling it forever, and you always have that theoretical chance that you're not gonna be getting the exact roll you wanted. You understand now why Rivens, or some Rivens which are correctly rolled, are so damn expensive. That said, there is one, do I even call it an advantage? I'm not gonna call it an advantage, I'm gonna call it a consolation prize if you put a lot of time and effort in one of your Rivens. First would be the fact that you get yourself a nice little big number. Look Sonny, Marka Plasmor has been rolled a gazillion times. Essentially, it's a conversation piece. On a personal level, I never rolled a weapon Riven past 100, but I have seen some pretty scary screenshots and some pretty scary links with players that have invested literal years into a single Riven. So what is the big deal? Just a big number, right? Well, not just a big number. You will notice the following. If I want to dissolve my hard work, I'm gonna be getting 16,533 endo. That's a small upside. It's a consolation prize. If I compare it to a Riven that's only been rolled 3 times, it's only 7,000. I see what you're saying, Laser. So basically that's the best way to farm endo, right? No, please, God, no, don't do that. There are plenty of better ways to farm endo. Go do arbitrations or something of the sort. Treat this as strictly a consolation prize for all your hard work. And that's the long and short of it. Do you need Riven mods? No. Do they add a whole lot of power? Yes, they can. Are they hard to get? Not necessarily, they're down to RNG. Over the years, players have suggested a number of changes to the Riven mod system, but it mainly remained unchanged, at least at its core. One big change that the developer did implement: brand new weapons are coming with the minimum Riven disposition, which kinda took away some of the power that Riven mods had. But let me know in the comment section down below, how do you feel about Riven mods? Do you love them, do you hate them, or do you simply not care? As always, my name has been Leyzar, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, don't forget to subscribe.